Hey everyone, a Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have the first of the Experience Mimic heroes in the game. I actually pulled one this morning. I maxed him pretty easily. I want to go over that process, what it looks like to level them up, what they can be used for, and whether you should give him limit break materials and emblems. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. So this is actually my Red Fire Experience Mimic that I pulled. Like I said, I did level him up, and leveling up these new Mimic heroes is basically like leveling up a costume of a different hero as far as the amount of experience that you get for each of the heroes and the materials and food ascending them to level 2, 3, and 4. So you're not going to need any of those 4-star ascension materials. So you're not going to need any rings, a Damascus blade, or a tome to be able to level up this Mimic hero. So that is a huge win in my opinion. And honestly, I don't even think I would have leveled him up if it did require those materials. But as you can see, he is pretty powerful at an individual power of 1200 without emblems or limit break materials. He's got 1236 attack, 1236 shield, and 2121 health. He has average speed. He has the Greedy Devour special skill, which destroys all minions from the target. This effect damages mega minions, deals 530% damage to the target. If the target is defeated by the attack, the caster recovers plus 50% health and gains plus 33% mana. The Mimic chest closes for 2 turns. And when the Mimic chest closes for 2 turns, it makes it so the Mimic is immune to damage and new status ailments while closed. Interesting note about the 33% mana, that's exactly 3 tiles that is needed out of the 9 tiles if you have a troop on him to be able to get him to 9 tiles. So if he kills somebody, it kind of turns him into a very fast hero because you only need 6 tiles in order to get his next special. So that's definitely pretty cool. As far as any type of family bonus, the family bonus is really just his passive. He gets extra loot, which we're going to take a look at right now. You can see the Mimic loot gives a chance for extra loot when completing stages. Common fire trainer heroes, uncommon fire trainer heroes, and rare fire trainer heroes. There's also extra chances for extra common fire heroes and uncommon fire heroes. And then he does have an extra passive, which is perfect accuracy. This character's special skill never misses its target. I'm going to go into one of the summon portals for a moment just so you can see the odds of pulling him and where you can see when one of these types of heroes will be available. So I've noticed sometimes that there is a graphic in the top left, but if there is no graphic in the top left, if you just click on the little eye in the top left, it lets you know the odds of pulling any of the heroes in the current portal. And then on the bottom, you can see that the legendary hero of the month, Clegg, has a 1.3% chance to get pulled. And then this secret summon hero has a 1.5% chance to get pulled. So those are pretty decent odds, honestly. Unfortunately, this Mimic hero is only going to be available today, which is Tuesday, April 22nd. I don't know if there's a schedule of when these Experience Mimic heroes are going to be released because it's just the fire one right now, and then obviously the nature, ice, holy, and dark Experience Mimic heroes will eventually get released. Those are likely, I assume, going to be just a one-day release also, but we're also supposed to be getting Ascension Mimic heroes instead of Experience Mimic heroes, where you're going to have the opportunity to get Ascension materials for that specific color also. So to get some extra rings, tonics, scopes, tabards, and darts, that would be pretty cool eventually when those heroes come out. So I do want to do a couple raids actually with this Experience Mimic hero to see if he's usable in a raid, and then I also want to do some sampling of some quest or map stages rather to see the odds of pulling these extra trainer heroes and extra regular fire heroes also. So first I'm going to do a couple raids and then I'll go into some map stages so you can see that. All right, so we are going to go up against the Bernadette tank team actually because I believe that when the Mimic hero uses his special and goes into that like closed chest trap form for a couple turns, that it resists the ailment for the paintings that Bernadette casts, and I want to see what that looks like. So we're going to bring some tunes along with this Mimic hero who should all mostly resist that painting effect with that 75% chance to resist. Obviously, we need to get the 9 tiles for the Mimic hero before we can have Bernadette go off. So we got a very heavy blue board to start. I will certainly take that. I'm hoping, like I said, we can get the 9 red tiles needed before Bernadette goes off so that we can test this out. Not getting any red tiles on the side there, unfortunately. We can move up these couple red tiles so I can match them next turn now, though. Alright, now we just need 2 more red tiles. I'm going to match these purple, see if I can get a red on the bottom. We did get one, not in the right spot, but that's okay. We can still match that before Bernadette goes off. And obviously, I am forcing red tiles here to try to get this Mimic Hero to fire before Bernadette does, which we will be able to. Normally, I would obviously try to get my blue tiles before this. So let's use the Mimic Hero on Bernadette, see how much damage this does. And remember, this Mimic Hero that I have is not limit broken, has no emblems. With the Legendary Troop, he has 1624 attack, and this Bernadette has 1891 shield. So let's use this and see what kind of damage we get. 1058, not bad for a hero that is not limit broken. Now I would like to match some blue tiles against Bernadette so that we can force her to go off. And obviously you can see that red Mimic chest in hiding form right now. Nice cascading. Ah, please don't kill Bernadette. Really? Come on. Alright, well, I guess we'll finish off this battle. And kill Armand next so that I don't have to deal with his minion putting me to sleep, or Mega Minion putting me to sleep. Actually, I want to see what kind of damage we can do to Rosalind and her Mega Minion with the Mimic Hero now also, since he does extra damage first to the Mega Minion. So let's see what her health is of the Mega Minion. Almost 2600, 2580 to be exact, and 2266 shield. That's crazy. Okay, let's use this first. So that Mega Minion had 2580 health. It got rid of about 2220. I believe the exact damage was a little over 1,000. I didn't quite catch it, but it looks like it pretty much damaged the Mega Minion in half and then did that extra 1,000 damage. So that's pretty cool. Now let's see if we can kill this Rosalind here. Not quite. Let's go some yellow tiles, and then I'll match some more yellow ones next turn and get Leonidas activated again. We should be able to kill Rosalind with Leonidas. Let's do a little healing first. And Ludwig has the taunt for 5 more turns. All right, well, let's see how much damage Leonidas does against him, since he does extra damage against Dark. 1576. And I might as well use Richard here. I think I'm just going to tile dump against him, since actually these yellow tiles might be able to kill him. Awesome. I'm going to hit this purple diamond, do some tile dumping. And I think at this point right now, we're going to hit Rosalind one more time with the Mimic Hero, but I think I'm going to flee and challenge the same exact team so that we can try to get Bernadette to attack us. Yeah, so 862 plus that damage that I did to the Mega Minion. Looks like it probably does around 2,000, 2,200 damage. Not too bad for a sniper. Probably not going to make my roster based on the heroes that I have. But we are going to flee this battle, and I'm just going to hit rematch so we can hit the same exact team. All right, so let's take the 4 reds on the bottom first. That's going to work out great because we now have a match of 4 reds on the bottom again. And then rather than messing with the 3 reds up against Bernadette. I'm just going to hit this red dragon. That's going to give me the tiles I need for the Mimic Hero. Now we have to wait a couple turns to use him because he only goes into that hiding form for 2 turns. So I need to make sure that Bernadette is going to go off within the next 2 turns. So I think we can probably do it now, actually. So let's attack Bernadette with... Actually, let's wait. Actually, you know what? I was going to say Rosalind's about to go off, but again, this is really just for testing purposes anyway. So let's attack Bernadette and then use these red tiles up against her. And then this next turn, I'm going to move up that 1 blue tile in the bottom to match those blues to set off a cascade of the reds, which will definitely set off Bernadette. And truly test out if our Mimic Hero is able to resist the painting. And he does, because he's shielded. Perfect. And 2 of my tunes actually went into the painting form. That's a little unfortunate. All right, well, let's use one of them on Bernadette. And we should be able to kill Bernadette with Richard. Let's use the main part of Richard on Ludwig. And she is dead. Let's use these blue tiles over here. See if we can kill Ludwig, and he is dead. Perfect. Want to get rid of the Mega Minion. Actually, you know what? Let's just kill Dia-chan over here. That way we can go some more tiles. And Dia-chan is almost dead. All right, now let's use Leonidas against Dia-chan since he does extra damage against purple. 16, 16. I thought it'd be more than that, actually. Match these 3 yellows, and then we're going to go some blue tiles. So between that and those 3 on the bottom left, that's going to give me both Richard and Magni. I'd like my Mimic here to wake up eventually. That'd be cool. Of course, I match red tiles when I can't gain mana for him. We gotta kill that Mega Minion that keeps on putting people to sleep. Alright, he's dead now. Now we really need my Mimic here to wake up. One of those regular attacks have to be able to hit the Mimic Hero. Come on. I've got all these red tiles that I can't match. Now I've got more red tiles. It's actually impressive that I am not matching any of these red tiles. Alright, Armand's about to go off. We're actually going to let him go off, so that he hits all and will wake up the Mimic Hero. Hopefully the Mega Minion doesn't hit him at the end. And he is awoken and he's still alive. For now, we have a 80% chance for him to stay alive or to not be falling asleep. Okay, let's attack this Mega Minion over here. Let's use this red diamond so we can get our special back. I'm curious if we can use the special while he's asleep, actually, or in the hiding form, rather. Let's use him against Rosalind, and you can use him while he's still in that form. Cool. All right, now let's put this match to bed. Of course, Leonidas is asleep. That's cool. Quite the cascade, and Richard should be able to kill Armand now. Awesome. All right. So, got a good indication on what the Mimic Hero does as far as doing the extra damage to Mega Minions, and then the 530% damage, I think it is, on top of that. The going into hiding is pretty cool, and could probably be paired with some other tunes like I just did, since those are types of heroes that will resist enemies like Bernadette and Fergus and stuff like that. If you are able to get one of these Mimic Heroes and you don't have as advanced of a roster, then I definitely would recommend giving him limit break materials and emblems. He's probably going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest hero on your team. For me, his special doesn't really do enough for him to make one of my 6 war teams, honestly. He may get used in situational times where I need a sniper to take out a Mega Minion or a Reviver or something like that, but honestly, he's probably not going to make one of my war teams, so I'm not going to put limit break materials or emblems on him at this point right now. All right, so got a good indication of how he's going to work in raids and wars and stuff like that. Now let's take a look at the benefits of using him in quest and map stages. I'm just going to go into a map stage and click the autoplay for using loot tickets, and we can see how many of the regular trainer heroes that I get and then the regular fire heroes also. All right, so we are currently in Season 4, the Underwild event, where the flags are reduced for that season. So I'm going to go into one of these provinces and just use some loot tickets and see how many extra heroes we get. I'm going to use Province 2 because that is the province where you have a higher chance of getting extra backpacks compared to any other of the provinces. And I've got 61 flags, a full flask here, so we're just going to use 20 loot tickets in the normal stage to see how many extra heroes we are able to get. And I am using these valuable loot tickets that I usually only use for during Season 2 Atlantis Rises, since that's the best opportunity to get backpacks and recruits and other resources and stuff like that. So let's see how many extra heroes we're able to get with these 20 loot tickets here. 33 backpacks. I will take that for sure. And we got a couple extra heroes, only 2 stars out of 20 loot tickets. That's really not that much, honestly. I got a lot better results when I was testing out the Mimic Hero earlier, but you will notice that little extra chest when you get an extra hero for the Mimic experience hero that you have. So I think I want to just go and do some individual battles because, like I said, I had a much better rate for pulling some extra heroes. It was almost like every other battle, and I just used 20 loot tickets, so I feel like I should have gotten a lot more than that. So I am going to just go into some battles and go through autoplay, and then I will bring up my rewards for each of those at the end of each battle, and then I'll come back at the end and we'll talk about what I got. So that second flask really didn't go that much better than the first. So if we look at the family bonus again, it does very specifically say that the chances for extra loot increase with the energy cost of the level. I was hoping that because it was reduced flags for a seasonal event, that it may still consider the fact that it was normally 6 flags for each of those events. So what I do want to try and do is go to one of the higher flag requirement stages. So we're going to go to stage or province 36, and level 10 is 13 flags, but level 9 is 12 flags. And based on the fact that I've got 61 flags in this flask, we can actually do this stage here 5 times with 5 loot tickets. So I want to do that for one last ditch effort here to see if we can get a little bit better of a chance of pulling one of the trainer heroes, especially to see what that looks like. And the moment of truth here, I probably should have emptied out my recruits before I did that. Lots of other stuff, obviously. And we did get a couple heroes, but no trainer heroes. So we got one star and one 2-star fire hero. So as far as if these mimic heroes are worth it, again, if you're a brand new player or don't have a very advanced roster, they are definitely going to help you in wars, obviously, and in raids. And if you have them, it's kind of silly not to at least have them when you're farming. It does make farming slower for the player who has some Mega Minions or some Fox heroes, because using Garrison Guard heroes that have those starter Mega Minions and the Fox heroes with the Foxes, that is the fastest way to farm through auto-playing. So obviously these Mimic heroes, and eventually once we get the Ascension Mimic heroes, is going to make farming slower if you've got a bunch of those on your team. But if you don't have several thousand feeders like some of the players who have been around a really long time have, then these Mimic heroes are definitely going to be worth it for you. So I would say that if you are anywhere from a beginner to a mid-level player, these experienced Mimic heroes will definitely help you. As far as once we get to the Ascension Mimic heroes, which will probably be coming out within the next month or two, we're going to have to wait to see when they actually come out, what the drop rates actually look like for those, for the 4-star Ascension material items. But I would venture to say that those would likely be worth it for just about anybody. Let me know what you think about these new experienced Mimic heroes, and that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.